Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I am your host, Brent Piles, and with me, as always, is a man from across the ocean and from the future. Here's the ballroom brawling, disco dancing, dynamite stretching, intercontinental playboy, folks, at G-Ross and Glenn. I'm Glenn.
Wasn't that absolutely brutal? I'm doing well, thank you. That was a brutal match.
I'm going to be honest with you, Glenn. So my son was in a play on this weekend, and there was a performance on Saturday. And so
you didn't.
I did not. So I ran to Olive Garden to get our dinner, and I did not expect the Hell in a Cell match to be the first match. I figured I'd miss like fucking Nia Jax versus Bayley or something. And not that I didn't want to see that match. I'm not disparaging that match at all. I'm just saying that's the one I thought was going to be first, and I could go back and watch it later. But then I get back home from getting food, and I find out the Hell in a Cell match is on. And then my son calls me and tells me that I need to come pick him up. And then by the time I got back, the match was over. So I haven't even watched it.
All over.
I do plan on watching it before we talk to the mayor tonight. And I just got a text back from the mayor and did confirm that he is in for tonight. So we are on for tonight, Glenn.
Excellent. Okay. So I know not to go to sleep. That's all.
Stay up.
All right.
Yeah. And we'll discuss Hell in a Cell more. I will discuss that match and Bad Blood more when we talk to the mayor. And I will watch the match before we talk to him. We can talk about how.
What shall we can talk about? We could talk about another win for the Arsenal at the weekend.
Yeah, I mean,
when very few others managed to find a win. Sorry?
It was iffy there for about, I don't know, 6 minutes.
Well, yeah, it's that. It was a very one-sided first half, put it that way, without scoring. So.
Yeah, like I said to you, we did everything but score in the first half. I mean, they had chances, but they weren't able to execute them. And then I mean,
it's amazing that even when they went 1-0 up, I had no doubt that we were going to score.
I mean, I don't think that I thought that there was like we weren't going to score. I was just annoyed by the fact that we were even down. I was in the garage watching it, Glenn, and I have a chair in there that I rarely sit in because I usually just fucking pace back and forth when I watch it. And I pushed the chair over when they scored. That's how angry I shoved the chair right up.
Nice.
And then it only took I think it took 3 minutes for Kai Havertz to score.
Yeah. They always say that about City, and it is a sign of a champion winning side that if a team scores against them, all it does is annoy them.
Yeah, we almost needed them to score for it to fucking wake them up. And that's exactly what it did. They scored, and then it finally woke them up. And again, I think the way that Kai scored, the way he did it with his foot, the way he did a good job of getting himself a little bit of extra room to get the shot off. It just shows again, like he's becoming a number. He's becoming a striker now. He's becoming what everyone said that we've been needing for forever. I mean, if you watch the PSG game, the way he was able to hold the ball up. He did it there, and the way he's able to score with the foot. And he did it against, what was it, Bournemouth too? No, it was against Brighton too that he scored a really good goal with his foot too. So he's always been really good in the air, but he's lacking feet, but he's doing it. He's starting to pick that up now too.
Yeah, he's definitely a man playing with confidence under Mikel Arteta, which is good.
Yeah, I saw in a the post-game interview that Arteta was talking about how Kai Havertz is a guy who needs to feel loved, and he needs to be surrounded by love, and he needs to feel the chemistry. And he came in here and he feels the love from us, and we have a good chemistry, and that's why he's the player that he is. And it makes a whole lot of sense because it probably didn't feel a whole lot of that at Chelsea. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know anybody that must feel that at Chelsea. There's so many of them.
They got so many players. How could you?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and speaking of Chelsea, I was watching them play Forest on Sunday, and Forest is getting prepared to take a set piece, and the Chelsea players are pushing and shoving each other.
Yeah,
which I thought was hilarious. I mean, our guys have heated discussions, but I never see anybody put their hands on another person, unless it's like in celebration. That's the only time I.
Yeah, especially in the defense. If they're defending and somebody puts in a good tackle or something, then there'll be fist bumping and chest bumping and celebrating like they scored, which is a good thing.
Yeah, I mean,
that's why they don't concede many.
But yeah, now we're unfortunately on a 2-week international break again, Glenn, and we're just going to hope and pray that all our boys come back in one piece.
News is the Kai Havertz hasn't gone, apparently, you said.
Yeah, Kai Havertz apparently has not a serious knee injury, but a sore knee, and for that he is going to be staying behind and not joining Germany. I also saw that Thomas Partey won't be going back to his country for their international matches either, and I'm happy for that. I did see an Instagram account going, "Oh, good news! Our guys have been called up with Declan Rice and Saka." I was like, "Is that good news?"
Yeah. Oh, I held my breath every time the Saka plays for England, because he plays against players who try to cripple him week in and week out, don't they? When he
gets kicked more than anyone.
Let's talk some wrestling, shall we?
Yeah.
He does. Yeah.
Yeah, he gets these.
Let's talk some wrestling.
Well, and I won't even get into or entertain people who say he's not world class. I said this on Threads, and I'll say it again. If you see anybody on social media that says Saka isn't world class, just block them, because any person saying that at this point is just looking for attention. Just block them. Even if they're a former player, I don't give a fuck. Block them too, because they're also stupid.
Yeah. I saw your thread with that, and I agree with you 100%.
The guy has a goal or assist in every game but one this year. But you're right.
No. Shed load of goals for England. Shed load of goals for Arsenal. Tons of assists. But he's not world class.
He's what, 22 years old? 23 years old? 24 maybe?
Yeah, 23. 23, I think he is.
Yeah, I think that kid's gonna be all right.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway. Let's do it. It's Raw is War from February 23rd, 1998. They're in Waco, Texas. So I was wrong last week when I thought that both these tape shows were going to be from the same arena, because they are not. And also, they told us last week that Raw was going to be on Saturday, and it was 3 days before this Raw, right?
Yeah.
So last week's Raw is listed as February 16th, 1998, and this week's Raw is listed as February 23rd, 1998. And I'm no math fucking matician, but pretty sure that's not 3 days.
No, that's definitely not 3 days.
So I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if maybe they're just listing the dates that they were. I don't know. Maybe last week's Raw was filmed on the 16th. That I would believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it could be broadcast dates rather than, or recording dates rather than broadcast dates.
Yeah, that could be.
Who knows?
Yeah. So this one took place from the Heart of Texas Coliseum in Waco, Texas, which opened in the spring of 1953 and was the home to the Baylor University basketball team until 1988. Not a whole lot to note from this place. Still open today, but it's known as the Extendo Event Center, and its last wrestling show was a WWE house show in June of 2009. So they haven't been back there for a while. And one notable sign from the show this week, Glenn, there was a sign in the crowd that just said Rob.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't UTT Rob unless he visited Texas in 1998. But maybe.
No, I doubt.
Let us know in the comments on YouTube, Rob. Let us know if you were ever in Wake.
I wouldn't have thought he would have been old enough.
I don't know if Rob's older than me or younger than me. I'm not sure.
Because they talk, when he talks about, when they do the Doctor Who, they talk about things that he knows more of than Dan. He's older than Dan. So I think he might just be a little bit older than you.
Okay, so he's a little older than 40, huh?
Maybe.
The very first match for the evening, Glenn, was the New Age Outlaws defending the WWF Tag Team Championships against the Legion of Doom. Fans were hot for this one, weren't they?
They were. And I'm putting this in my good category. My first match that ever for the New Age Outlaws that goes into my good category.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I thought this was a great way to kick off the show.
It was. It's probably the best they've been. Right from Road Dogs got the intro right finally. It's probably the best we've ever seen from the New Age Outlaws. Definitely the most that LOD have bumped for a long while.
But yeah, it was a nice little tag team match between two pretty good tag teams. I mean, I know the New Age Outlaws aren't really known for their in-ring work, but they could do good ring psychology.
And it did what it needed to do. They could have easily, knowing that this was all going to lead to LOD fighting amongst themselves.
Right.
They could have just phoned this in, but nobody did, which was a great thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely one of the better Raw matches we've seen. Probably, I would say, even extending into the 1997 year, because there wasn't a whole lot of really good matches at the end of that either.
No, that's right.
It does look like LOD's going to win. They hit the Doomsday device, but Hawk's not getting out of the ring while Animal's covering him, so the ref's trying to get him out of the ring. He's not counting the pin. Then Billy comes in. He takes Hawk out while the ref's dealing with Hawk. He grabs the tag team belt, hits Animal in the face with it. Road Dogg pins him. They get the win. Like Glenn said, after the match, LOD has some words with each other, and then they start fighting with each other. They get a bunch of refs, everybody out here to try to break them up. But yeah, I thought the match was good. The fans were really into it. The finish was great. The story of Legion fighting each other was good.
My note on that at the end of it is I loved the fact that the average age in that ring 30, because they had all the old sort of officials out there, and LOD themselves are young men.
Yeah, so that's definitely going to go.
It was like a load of old granddads fighting. It was superb.
It was fun. Yeah, definitely. It was like a couple of granddads trying to fight two granddads on steroids.
Yeah, that's right.
The next match was Ken Shamrock and Jeff Jarrett. The NWA North American Championship was not on the line during this match, just so everybody knows and is aware. I don't know. I thought that Shamrock looked really great in this match. Like, just from like the way he looked to how crisp his moves were, I thought he looked really great in this match.
Yeah, it's as though he'd suddenly become a wrestler.
Yeah, I don't know
what Jeff Jarrett said. No, doing drop kicks and everything was on point. We're 2 for 2 on good matches.
No, I agree. I thought this was great too. I mean, I don't know if it was because Jeff Jarrett is such an accomplished wrestler that he just made Ken Shamrock look so good here. Because Jeff Jarrett's been spending his day working hard on the go. Decent match. And I would put it in my good section too. We got a ref bump, so Cornette tries to hit Shamrock with the loaded tennis racket, but he hits Jeff Jarrett instead.
He did crack Jeff as well.
Yeah, he was just not a good shot with that, was he?
No, he wasn't.
No, it was just a bad shot. It knocked Jarrett out cold, but then Shamrock puts the ankle lock on him for good measure. Referee wakes up, sees that Jarrett's out cold, calls for the bell. I'm shocked that that this show has started off with 2 good matches, because last week I was going, oh God, this show's going to be awful. And maybe it was because I went into this thinking it was going to be so bad that I was so impressed. Yeah. But so after Michael Cole talks to Jeff Jarrett, and Jeff Jarrett says it may be time for him and Jim Cornette to go their separate ways. So maybe some trouble in paradise there.
We can't have it all good, because after that it was the DOA versus the Truth Commission.
I broke just when I thought things were going good. This happened.
What can you say about it apart from it was bad? It was a clusterfuck from beginning to end, I suppose, is the best thing to say about it.
The best thing about it was that the Jackal wasn't on commentary.
Yes. Oh, yeah, they didn't give him a headset.
Yeah,
that was the best thing about it.
They told him he was banned from a headset or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. So I talked about how the Godwins are one of my least favorite things from 1997, and one of my least favorite things from 1997 bleeding into 1998 is the fucking Truth Commission. I mean, this whole thing is awful.
Yeah.
The only thing good they have is Bull Buchanan. The rest of it's just not good.
No, that's right.
And I'm also
shocked. Sorry.
I'm also shocked that Crush left WWE a long time ago, and somehow the DOA is stuck on this long. You think they would have dropped them long after Crush was gone, but nope, they're still here.
Yep. No, they're still there. They're running out of factions quickly, so I suppose they've had to keep them on.
It's a good point. I guess they still have the Los Barricos and the Nation. And anyway, so if anybody cares, the Truth Commission wins. Kurgan uses the claw on one of the DOA guys. After the match, Jackal Smack Sniper tries to go after him, but Kurgan attacks him while Recon's trying to get him to let him go. I'm going to go with bad for this one.
Yep, that's in my first bad as well.
Wasn't quite bad enough to be ugly, but it wasn't good. And then they went to Shawn Michaels' house for like a promo with DX. And because I don't feel like I can put this into words, I made a clip for it because it felt more like an advert for WrestleMania 14 than an actual promo. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. Yeah, no.
All right, here we go.
Come on, Jim Ross. Let's talk about what this is really about. You want me to lend some credence to your little rumor mill that you've been spreading about the legalities between DX and Stone Cold. Let's face it, it's an open and shut case. Stone Cold Steve Austin attacked a woman from behind. This woman. And guess what, Stone Cold? She took your best shot, and take a look at her. She looks pretty good, doesn't she?
Hey, Steve.
Now, as far as legalities are concerned, DX doesn't get into that. We believe in policing our own. But can you imagine this, Hunter? Here they come into my home with their lights, with their cameras, and they're looking for a reaction.
Now, what they're looking for is ratings. Well, I'll tell you what, if you want ratings, the next 4 weeks should be something, because if all hell breaking loose is your idea of must-see TV, then we're going to set the damn Nielsen books on fire.
Hey, let's face it, next week, next Monday night, Cleveland, a perfect place to start. They're all going to be there. Owen Hart, Austin, and from what I hear, Mike Tyson. Lots of people, lots of viewers. Sounds like it ought to start just about then.
Perfect place for it to start. And I think the perfect place for it to end?
WrestleMania. Let's face it. The Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the WWF champion, will defend against Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. I guarantee it.
And what I guarantee is, from this day forward, WrestleMania is now stamped X-rated.
Meat and potatoes, but talking the people into the building for WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm doing a good job of selling. Sorry, I'm doing a good job of selling next week's show.
Yeah, no, the 100%. It made me excited this next week's show, and it made the people in Cleveland excited. Sure, a young mayor of Canton was probably very excited. I don't know how old the mayor was in 1998, probably a teenager. Yeah, no, I thought that was great in the way they said, the first WrestleMania to be X-rated. It'll be Speaking of X-rated, Sunny is on her way down to the ring to be a special guest ring announcer for the Taka Michinoku versus Barry Windham match.
This is my first ugly bit. And then we get Taka Michinoku, best of the light heavyweights, up against that other well-known light heavyweight, Barry Windham.
Barry's left leg isn't a light heavyweight.
And of course, Barry Windham kills him. No, definitely not. So Barry kills him. The saving grace on this whole thing, apart from the barrier that the whole of NWA mob managed to evacuate, and poor old Tucker got it, is Kane coming out and interrupting it.
It looks like Barry's going to win with a stiff clothesline, but then when he's pinning him, the lights go out. Kane comes down, picks Tucker up, choke slams him, tombstones him. And then, like, the big revelation to this is Paul Bearer gets on the microphone and he says the only superstar he's interested in is Stone Cold Steve Austin. If he's got any guts, he will get in the ring with Kane next week. So that's something. I remember that happening in 1998. Well, later in 1998, but not now.
No. But we're due somebody coming back, aren't we? He's overlooking somebody. When he said the only person he's looking at, somebody that might be a little crispy around the edges, shall we say?
Yeah, it might be a little well done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know Stone Cold and Kane don't really have any interaction until later, like summer of 1990. I don't think so. It'll be interesting to see what happens because I'm not 100% sure what's going to take place there. So, but again, another good way to sell next week's show.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of that so far.
Then they show the New Age Outlaws leaving the building, and they're trying to ask them about, don't you feel bad about LOD? And they don't care. And Road Dogg's like, hell, I'm half drunk, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
And then while Michael Cole gets fed up with them and tries to walk away, and then off in the distance, Glenn, what can you hear?
A chainsaw.
Fuck yeah, you can.
And of course, it's Chainsaw Charlie and Cactus Jack coming to attack the New Age Outlaws. Excellent.
Yeah, I thought it was really fun.
I'm surprised that Terry Funk managed to not decapitate somebody with that chainsaw the way he was waving it about.
I don't know how I don't know how he didn't lose a limb or someone didn't lose a limb. Yeah. Cactus Jack's busting up the windshield with the fucking baseball bat. Terry Funk's trying to cut the side mirror off the chainsaw. It was fun.
There's Terry Chainsaw Charlie. He's trying to hack his way into the car, and the road dog sticks his head out the window. How did he not lose it?
Yeah, that's the last thing you should do is stick your head out the window.
Yeah, I know.
And then we got something that was a little strange. They show us what is supposed to be Gold Dust doing a Dusty Rhodes impression, but I'm positive that was not Dusty Rhodes. I mean, that was not Dustin Rhodes in that little shadowed thing. That was Bruce Pritchard doing a Dusty Rhodes gimmick. It was absolutely Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, right.
Had to have been. I've heard Bruce Pritchard's Dusty Rhodes impression, and that's him. I know it's him.
Great. They were very keen on commentary to sort of say that this has all been sanctioned by Dusty.
Yeah, that they called him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I actually probably do believe, because I do think that Bruce probably would have called Dusty and said, hey, look, we're going to do this. Just to joke. And I'm sure Dusty, being the kind of guy he is, probably did laugh it off. I'm sure he thought it was fucking
Of course. Yeah. Especially being it Dusty doing it.
So, yeah, then we get Gold Dust comes out dressed in polka dots. He's got a stuffed belly. He faces Bradshaw.
This is as good as we've seen Bradshaw look as well.
He did look great in this one.
This is the seeds of JBL. Even with the stiffest of clotheslines. And the great piece of commentary where they say he's literally knocking the stuffing out of him.
Yeah, that was good, because he literally was knocking the stuffing out of him, because his steak was coming out of him. Yeah. Obviously, Bradshaw wins. I'm winning with a clothesline from hell. I'm not going to say this was bad, ugly, or good. It was just there, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dusty Rhodes promo thing, it had a couple funny parts, but most of it was kind of cringy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At least for me. So
yeah. I can understand. Not as bad as with experience in this period of time.
No.
But
I mean, considering what Goldust usually does, this is a breath of fresh air from him.
Oh, yeah. They're not good enough to call it good.
Not good enough to call it good. No, he didn't have Luna out there with him, but they did let us know she is in the building tonight, waiting for Sable. So hang around for a cat fight, people. Maybe, maybe not.
Maybe.
Next up this week on What Member of the Nation of Domination will Steve Blackmon beat this week? It's The Rock, because Steve Blackmon faces The Rock in the next match. He's got his glowing nunchucks with him this week, not his weird sticks, so that's at least something.
Yeah, they come back to play a part. It's that thing, isn't it? The gun in Act 1 needs to shoot somebody in Act 3.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yep, the nunchucks did their job with that.
Yeah, I mean, this was like a decent match, I would say. A solid Raw match from what we've seen, I would think. Yes. Of course. The Rock hits a power slam, but the Farouk is distracting the ref. So the Rock is mad at Farouk because he feels like he could have had Blackman pinned. He then throws Blackman into Farouk, which knocked Farouk off the apron, which led to Blackman almost winning with a roll up. D'Lo tries to pass the knucks to the nunchucks. I'm sorry,
nunchucks,
to the Rock, but he overthrows them. I don't know how. I mean,
did he overthrow them though?
A child could have thrown those better than that. What are you doing, D'Lo?
Yeah.
He literally threw them over the Rock. Yeah, so Blackmon hits The Rock with him, gets the 3 count in the win. After the match, of course, The Rock's mad at D'Lo, but D'Lo tells The Rock that Farouk told him to throw him the nunchucks. I'm still not sure how this is Farouk's fault.
No.
Did he say,
it's just
hey D'Lo, throw the nunchucks like a fucking moron? Is that what Farouk said?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's probably what he said.
So I don't understand why everybody's mad at Farouk. D'Lo's the
No.
asshole here.
Yeah. And The Rock wanted to cheat.
Yeah, they're both assholes. Obviously, The Rock's an asshole. We can't. That goes
Yeah.
without saying, especially now in 1998. But yeah, I don't know. I thought this was a pretty good segment too. It did more to tell of the friction between the nation, and Steve Blackmon gets another victory. So.
Oh, then it's the Headbangers.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the Rock and Roll Express.
For the NWA World Tag Team Championships, Glenn.
It could have been for anything. There was no chemistry between these. The Rock and Roll Express, look what they were, old men by this time. And the poor old Headbangers hadn't got a clue what to do with them. There was just no chemistry at all between these four.
I didn't think it was all that bad. I mean, obviously, I didn't think it was like a great tag team match, but I thought it was. I thought it told a solid in-ring story. There was like a part where the Rock and Roll got mad at each other, looked like they were going to start fighting each other, just like the LOD. Oh yeah,
LOD.
Before the match, I forgot about this. Before the match, Tommy Young's of course out there, the NWA referee, but Sergeant Slaughter comes down with Earl Hebner and tells Tommy Young to get the fuck out of here. Because Earl Hebner is going to be the referee. So Earl Hebner's the referee. And of course, last week the Headbangers would have won, but they got DQ'd because he threw him over the top rope. So of course this week they throw one of them over the top rope, but it doesn't matter. And they still get the 3 count. And now Mosh and Thrasher are the NWA World Tag Team Champions. So
yeah,
there's that.
Great. At least it frees up the Rock and Roll Express to go and do whatever it is they need to do. It's got Cornette breaking up with Jeff Jarrett. So this NWA thing is sort of fizzling out very quickly.
Yeah, it was here today, gone tomorrow. Oh yeah, Cornette hit Thrasher in the back with the tennis racket too, and then he fell onto Ricky Morton for the 3.
Yeah. Just to make Cornette's night complete.
Yeah. So hopefully this NWA crap will be ending soon because none of it's been very good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I put that match on my good list. I didn't think that match was so bad. I thought it was at least entertaining.
Well, we have to disagree at some point. So
that's right. We can't agree on everything, or else what kind of show would this be?
That's exactly it.
So yeah. And then the main event of the evening, Glenn. That's right. I'm not making this up. That makes it 2 weeks in a row, Glenn, that Mark fucking Marrow is in the main event of Raw. Mark fucking Marrow.
I know. How the hell we get Owen Hart versus Mark Marrow as a main event of a Raw?
It's for the European Championship as well. They just pass European Championship matches out all willy-nilly, just to anybody. What has Mark Marrow done in a European Championship match?
It's nothing. It basically shows what a big chasm it leaves if they haven't got Stone Cold Steve Austin or Shawn Michaels there.
Yeah.
At this time.
And no Undertaker too.
And no Undertaker either. So yeah.
Like who else? I mean, I guess at that point, Owen Hart is almost your biggest babyface to stick out there in the main event.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and all this was to get the bloody Lunar and Sable fight.
Yeah, because Mara, of course, Mara, of course, sends Sable to the back before the match starts, and then she starts to come back. She comes back. This match lasted 4 minutes. Mero pushed the referee, and then it took the referee what seemed like forever to finally disqualify him. I was not sure. I was waiting with suspense to see if he was going to or not going to fucking I had no idea. And then he finally did. Yeah, and then we get a big brouhaha with Sable and Luna.
Yeah.
But Sable pushes Mark Mero down, and then Goldust kind of grabs Sable to try to stop her from getting at Luna. Then this makes Mero mad, so then he attacks Goldust.
Yeah. This was a mid show filler that ended up as the main event.
Yeah. There's no way I can better describe it than what you just said. This is a mid show match that somehow landed on the main event, and I'm not sure how.
No.
They start to clear the ring. Sable gets on the mic and says every wrestling's fan favorite word, which is bitch. She says, "You get back here, you little bitch." And I don't know what it is about us wrestling fans, but when someone on wrestling says bitch, we're like, yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Why is that?
No, I don't know, but everybody goes mad. They do.
I call at least 2 people a day a bitch. At least 2 times a day I go, "Shut up, bitch." So I don't know what the big deal is.
That's how well you get on with your
I would never say that to Miss AW iPod, and when I say it, it's usually not to a woman. So
No, I was going to say that's how well you just get on with your colleagues.
yeah, that's just how I talk to people. That's how I talk to my friends and people I work with.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Anyway, anywho, I'm going to give this a 1 thumb.
I'm going to have to agree with you there because it was good, but not great.
No, it was better than we expected.
Yeah.
After you totally undersold it last week, even to me.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be.
So it's a nice surprise. Lots of good stuff. Some not good stuff. Terrible ending. 1 thumb.
Yeah, I enjoyed the show a lot more than last week's show, but it wasn't the best show ever either. But I thought a lot of the matches were better. And this week we only got 2 screwy finishes as opposed to every fucking match last week.
Yeah, that's right.
I always say this. I don't mind dodgy finishes. My problem is when you get multiple of them on a show and stack a bunch of them up on a show. That's when I have a problem with it. I don't mind 1 or 2 dodgy finishes because most time it's just going to elongate a storyline. But when you do it multiple times on one show, it gets a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, and let's face it, on this show, at least 2 of the screwy finishes were telling the story of how Cornette is basically falling out with the NWA.
Right. It's like showing the demise of this heel group. Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah. No, let them off for this one.
Definitely.
As far as the finishes go.
We're back to head-to-head this week, and Raw did a 3.24, which is slightly up from 2 weeks ago when they did a 3.19. But Nitro did a 4.59. So Nitro did, a whole lot better again, but it is getting a bit closer. The funny thing that I think though is Nitro did a 5.11 the week before without a Raw on the air, so you would think that the number would jump up a lot more when it's not head to head, but it doesn't really do too much more.
No.
Yeah.
So what did we have on WCW?
On WCW this week we had Kurt Hennig had to face Lex Luger to a no contest, which was the opening match of the show. Diamond Dallas Page defeated Van Hammer to retain the United States Championship. Why would Van Hammer ever be allowed to have a championship match? What the fuck's happening? Ultimo Dragon defeated Kaz Hayashi. Chris Benoit versus Raven ended in a no contest. Let's see. Rick Steiner defeated Vincent. Saturn defeated Eugene Nagata. They hate Eugene Nagata. Everybody beat Eugene Nagata on Nitro, didn't they?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
No disrespect to fucking Saturn, but come on now. Conan defeated Liz Mark Jr. Vicious and Delicious defeated High Voltage. Remember High Voltage?
God, yes.
I was going to say no.
Oh, those awful outfits.
You do remember High Voltage. Wow, yeah, they had terrible outfits. Yes, they did. Eddie Guerrero defeated Disco Inferno. Ric Flair defeated Brad Armstrong. Bret Hart defeated Bryan Adams. And in the main event, Sting defeated Scott Hall by disqualification to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. And if you wonder why Raw had no matches compared to the 20 matches that Nitro had, Nitro was 3 hours at that point, and Raw was only 2. So that's why. So there you have it. I think I'm glad I watched this show. That show seemed really full.
It does, yeah, and not all great either by the sound of it.
Yeah, definitely. So, Glenn, who do you need to plug before we wrap this puppy up?
Well, we better plug the usual suspects of Unbooking the Territory, the doing the first and last of wrestling, and their side projects like Unstacking the Territory and the Road to Wembley 1981. The shows that have just dropped the last 2 weeks, I was on them because we were covering the 1979 FA Cup final day.
I saw that
wrestling. So, yeah, that was fun. Of course, the being the elite Gator Golf, they've just finished up with Series 2 of that. That'll be coming back soon, I suppose, after they get through the Big Daddy and Giant Haystack thing. And of course, the
Doctor Who podcast with Danny and Sam. That's on SJP World Media. Also, got the Volley on YouTube on SJP World Media as well. They do alternate commentary to Premier League matches with our buddy Dan and the magnificent Matt Lewis. Give it a listen. Give it a little watch.
Very good it is too.
Yes, very
good it is too.
I enjoy watching those guys.
And DDT Wrestling with DC and Doc, they hit a glitch this week. So the episode that they recorded last week is going to be released this week. So they're a week behind. But you can find them on any of your podcast apps of choice and just give them a listen because they're really good.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing it for a very long time. So, I mean, anybody who's been doing it for a very long time is probably pretty good at it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So give all those fine people a listen. And, of course, give the other member of our podcast team, the mayor of Canton, a listen. He does a meal with the mayor every Wednesday where he tries different fast food items so he can tell you if they are good or not for you to try or maybe for you to swoon about because they are not in your area most of the time for Glenn. Yeah, and give him a follow on the Twitter X. It's at Mayor of Canton. And make sure you check out Sports Wire Radio. Give our buddy Thomas Bryce a follow on all the social medias. He's on all of them. Thomas B. Rice. Subscribe to the YouTube page. It's Sports Wire with a Z. And check out the website. It is sportswireradio.org. Hit the listen live button. You can hear many great shows, including ours. Yeah, so make sure you do all of that. Check out all of our other shows. We will have an episode this week with us watching more of Uncensored 1995 from WCW. We'll also be discussing more about Bad Blood. And, of course, make sure you check out The Life and Times of Psycho Sid. We're on the 51st episode this week. He will be he'll be teaming with The Undertaker to take on Mankind Invader, which is going to be interesting because, as you know, he is on the road to facing The Undertaker for the World Wrestling Federation Championship at WrestleMania. They're tag teaming this week, so should be very interesting.
I'll have to hang my T-shirt up and get ready for that for Thursday for recording.
You'll definitely have to do that. Get it ironed and get it ready. But that's it. That's all. I got nothing else to say. The only thing left to say is for Glenn to say goodbye.
Goodbye.